everyone, and good evening, a very good evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are around the globe. Welcome to our Dynamic Harps Virtual Ensemble. Shall we all give each other a wave? It's lovely to see you here. Thank you so much for coming. Today is the 7th of September 2021, and I will welcome everyone live in a minute because we're going to jump straight in and warm up, because I've already been excitedly gabbling at everybody about the 10th Harp Weekend that's online that I'm doing, the Family Harp Weekend, so go and check that out if you haven't already. So if we go into C major, everyone, we will do our warm up. And we will do our bells, okay? So if you'd like to find, I think everybody here has been before, but just in case you haven't, let me do a little reminder. What we do for this is we use an octave to start with. So instead of just doing a scale going up and down the harp to be good boys and girls to warm up, we're going to do a scale, but we're going to start with just the humble octave. We're going to put the octave on C's, and we're going to go low C, high C. That's the first thing we do, isn't it? And then once we've done that low C, we place. So if those of you who are working on your placing at the moment, try and grab all four. And then we come down the hill and we do our descending scale, and then we join it up, okay? For those of you who this is like so simple for, you can do it with your eyes shut. There are some extension ideas you can do, but I just encourage you also to take this moment. I always do when we're doing something simple, take this moment to kind of really connect with what your posture, your breathing, how you're sitting, you know, how you're feeling at the heart, and really trying to do your relaxation in between every note as well. So you can, those of you who this is easy for, you can think about your hover, your land, your squeeze, your play, and your relax, those 5 steps to each note. Shall we do this? Should we just get that going? So for those of you who are, if you've never been before, this is what you do. You go round and round on that, okay? For everyone else, you know, I'll talk you through a few extras as we go. Here we go then. You ready? Oh, people keep arriving. I keep having to let more people in, which is wonderful, by the way. Okay, so here we go then. So I just make sure my loop is ready to go. So 3 and 4 and C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, then it loops. C, C, keep going round. You can put C chord underneath, and an F chord, and a G chord, and a C chord. You can start adding in extras. You might add in some sixths. So you might go sixths. And you can start improvising if you'd like to. This time we're going to pick up the tempo, because that was a very good warm-up tempo, but we're just going to do it a smidge faster, if that's okay. So let's pick it up to about here, okay? And remember, if your left hand has been left out so far, I challenge you to do the scale with your left tonight, okay? I challenge you to go 4, 1, and then come down the harp with your left hand to get that left hand moving. Okay, so here we go then. And if you're feeling really fancy, you can then go C in the right, and F chord, G, C. This is a great way to tease your brain. I can see Sue smiling at this. Yes, Sue. It's a good one, isn't it, Sue? The other way around. Okay, let's do it then. So slightly upping the tempo. Let's take it that tempo, yeah. Okay, so 3 and 4 and C. C, scale coming down. F and G and loop. And 2 and 3 and 4. Speed, do these faster. 6, of course. Don't forget your left. C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, C. Lovely. Everyone get all your fingers moving. Lovely. Fantastic. Keep going with this. It's lovely. I'd love to welcome here to get through everyone. We've got, I'd love to welcome Laurie, Alice, Amber, Angela, Anne, Beatrice, Betsy, Brenda, Clarissa, Diane, Dillis, Edna, Ellie, Francis, Jill, Hazel, Heather, Helen, Jane, Janet, Jemima, Jenny, Yoke, Judy, Kimberly, Laurie, Lisa, Lorraine, Linda, Margaret, Marianne, Mike, Peggy, Sharon, Sue, Susan, Tammy, And if I missed anyone, I'm sorry about that. It's lovely to see you. So last time through, we'll do a big kerfuffle to finish, and kerfuffle! And round and round and round and round. And when you're ready, it won't be in time with me, but we're going to do a C chord now. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. Are your fingers warmed up now? Okay, if they're not, then you should have worked harder. No, I'm only joking, but no. So it's good to keep moving them around. I always find, I don't know whether any of you are guilty of this, that it's easier for me to warm up my right hand than my left if I'm trying to do it using pieces or something like that, which is why exercises are so great, because they force you, don't they, to really, really focus on your left as well. Okay, brilliant. I also gave you in tonight's pack of music some exercises related to the piece. So actually we're going to jump straight in, if that's okay, because there's something I really want to show you about the tune that we're doing tonight straight up, so that for those of you who are slightly more advanced, you can sort of work on this throughout the session if you like. So if you want to find the page, there's just a few little exercises on it that we're going to look at in a minute. While you're just sorting that out, let me just play you a little bit of the piece as well, so you've got an idea of what we're aiming for. So as I say, it's kind of, you can imagine that this is the storm, this is part one of the piece. And the second part of the piece is kind of the celebration of being together throughout, anyway. So the beginning of the piece, you can see I've marked staccato. We won't be playing it this fast, don't panic, but I'll just play it through for you. So it's meant to start very quietly, like raindrops. Have a listen. So you can imagine the storm is far away at the beginning, yeah? That's the idea anyway. And then these all fit together. So the second part will go with the first. It's almost like the raindrops are getting louder, but they're still there. And then you get this, the tune that goes on the. Then you get it in harmony. That's just a sort of snippet at the beginning of the piece. So the thing I want to work on first of all with you guys is actually the little tiny raindrops. So if you just look actually at number 2 on the exercise list, if you've got it in front of you, I'll bring it up on screen actually, so you don't have to find it if you don't want to. And you can see that it just says it's a staccato. Now, so this is the thing that I thought I'd just talk about briefly tonight. When we see staccato on harp music, it's always, I always feel like I'm being a cheat, because if you think of staccato and legato, if someone's singing, and I know you guys all know this already, you're all really established harpists, but if it was legato, it would all blend together. No, I'm not a singer, as you all know, but you'd have your la, they would all blend in together. And if it's staccato, they still have the same length. The duration of the notes should stay the same, but they're just detached is what we're aiming for. So la, 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 la. But on the harp, to make it obvious, I tend to make them short, which isn't really staccato, is it? It's not just detaching the note, we're actually shortening the length of the note. So I always feel, as long as we're conscious that we're not just detaching the notes, we're shortening them, then I'm like, well, that's okay then. Okay, I'm consciously not doing quite the music right thing. But anyway, so I want to show you how I do these little raindrops, how I like to do these raindrops. So first of all, if you'd like to, everybody put their right hand on A and C and E as the triad chord. We're in C major, and so this is coming out as an A minor chord, isn't it? Okay, and just play going up and down. So in your own time, just play that those first 4 notes. So you're going A, C, E, C, ya, da, dee, dum. Okay, just those first 4 notes. And have a listen to them. So I'm going to stop playing for a moment, so you can do it without me interfering. Just really listen to how the notes blend. Okay, so I can hear that mine are all it's all moshing into each other, which is lovely, but it's not quite what I want for raindrops. Okay, and so what are our options? Well, we can stop each string one at a time. We could use the other hand. There are different options available to us, but the way that I'm doing this one is I'm just replacing my finger back on. So I'm playing in three with 3 fingers down, and I'm doing play, stop, play, stop, play, stop, play, stop. It does slightly break the rule of placing in one direction. So those of you who are very plugged into your very dutiful one-way placing, I'm really sorry about this. You can ignore me if you like, and I'm going to show you another way in a moment anyway. But that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going so for many of you tonight, you might think, well, I'm not quite up for that, Shelley. What else have you got for me? Okay, I have got something else for you. If that's, you're basically having to do 2 notes per string, aren't you, if you do that? It's like, well, not 2 notes, 2 things for 1 note, because you're placing, you're playing it, and you're landing and removing it again without playing it. So your poor brain has to do an awful lot. Actually, we're not removing it in this case, but your poor brain is doing a lot of steps: play and landing, playing and placing. And then you've landed, you're playing, you're placing, landed, playing, placing. It's more than usual. So if that feels like a bit too much at the moment, it will come with time, but you can slide your hands slightly lower down the strings instead, and just listen to the change you get in your tone if you just drop your fingers as well. Okay, so I know that you guys are all familiar with all of this really, but just sort of some reminders. But if we're playing in the middle of the harp, we get our biggest, most resonant sounds, don't we? Because the string can vibrate the most. The lower we get on the strings, the tighter the string is, isn't it? Because it's closer to the sound hole at the bottom. So if you go right to the bottom, you get that predilletable, the PDLT sound, which is completely different. But there's kind of this cheat that's kind of halfway house, I always think, where you're halfway between the middle and the bottom, and it just cuts the sound slightly, makes it softer. There's not quite so much resonance. So that can be another way if you're trying to sort of make this kind of different tone change. You can just drop your hand. So for those of you who think, I'm not working at this staccato tonight, Shelley, thank you very much, just try dropping your hand and you'll get a slightly different timbre, 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 however you want to say it, on that note. Okay. The other thing that I like to do, if I was doing this with one hand, I might do the thumb on the lowest A in the étouffée thumb position. Okay, so if you try this now for me, so this time we're going to put left hand on the A, that's left hand thumb, with your hand up in a flat position. Yep, so in like the patting the dog position, okay, or the closing the door with a flat hand position with your thumb, and you're going to play the A and land straight on it. So you can just try that if you like. Play the A and land, play the A and land, play the A and land. Okay, and then with fingers 2 and thumb on the C and the E above, then you can just practice walking and damping back on. So you're going play, damp, play, damp, play, damp, play, damp, play, damp. And the reason I like this version, if you were doing just this part without having to play the other hand, is that you can really, you can really stop that first one. When you drop it the octave, you see I've written it the octave lower here. I'll come off screen share in a second. You can really, we can make that heavy, like it's, a big raindrop. When you hear the raindrops, some of them always sound louder than others, don't they, if you're in a tent or something. So you can play around with those ideas. So I've just mentioned doing it all one-handed, which might take a bit of faff or a bit of learning. Or you could try just dropping it down here until you get that different, just a different sort of atmosphere and slightly less overtones. Or you can try doing it with the thumb in the left if you're just doing this little raindrop line on your own. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I'm just going to come out and see everybody. How did everybody find that? Did that work for you guys? Which one you did you like one of the 3 options? Did everybody find an option that worked for them? Yeah, okay, brilliant. Who's going for the thumb? Yeah, okay, some of you are. Okay, cool. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, lovely. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so that was the first thing I wanted to show you on this. Let's just go back to the screen share on this for one moment. The other thing we'll do, and then we'll jump into the piece tonight, actually, is the first one at the top here. Can you see I've written tea, coffee, lemonade? Now, I think most of you have worked with me before, if not all of you, so you know about my teas, coffees, and lemonade. This is just rhythm, isn't it? So we're in 4, it's marked in 4/4 here, and so you've got 1, 2, and then you've got tea, coffee, lemonade. So it's the rhythm. Tea, coffee, lemonade. So can you all just humor me and say tea, coffee, lemonade? Tea, coffee, lemonade. And then remembering that underneath, the pulse has to go underneath, doesn't it? So you've got tea, coffee, lemonade. Tea, coffee, lemonade. Okay, so to humour me, I can see loads of you did. Oh, you're so good. Look, such dutiful students. Okay, so yes, look, Jill smile. She's like, yeah, I know, Shelley. I knew you weren't going to let me get away with it. So we're clapping the beat, and now we're going to say tea, coffee, lemonade. And again, tea, coffee, lemonade. One more time. Tea, coffee, lemonade. Marvelous. Okay, brilliant. So that's just there because that's one of the harder rhythms that we have to do in this piece. As I say, there's some other things to challenge the more advanced. So I'll tell you about that later on. Let's just play this then. Let's play our tea, coffee, lemonade. Okay. So just to make this extra challenging for you, we have 2 beats rest before our T comes in, or before the crotchet or the quarter note comes in here. So we're going to be thinking 1, 2, and then tea, coffee, lemonade. Yeah, tea, coffee, lemonade. So you're starting on beat 3 there, and you're on E, D, C, and then you're going down by 1 note with those 3 fingers. You can just shift them all down by 1, and you'll notice I've bracketed them because I like placing, but you might decide you don't want to, and then you're just going to that D, C, B. So should we try them? I'll count you in 1, 2, and then we're going to go tea, coffee, lemonade. Here we go then. 1, 2, tea, coffee, lemonade. Brilliant. Let's do it again. So I'll count you in 1 and 2 and tea, coffee, lemonade. One more time for luck. So 1 and 2 and tea, coffee, lemonade. Marvelous. Okay, fantastic. So that's actually all we're going to do on the exercise sheet there, but these are here so that if you for instance, if you decide you're going to work on your staccatos, probably you can now do it in the main piece, but you might just, if those of you who haven't worked with me on teas, coffees, lemonades, cappuccinos, blueberries, humpties, all the different things that we use for rhythms, then this is kind of just a sort of starting point for you and in on those, because they can be very useful, can't they, to just make brainless rhythm reading. I always think of it, for me anyway. Brenda was like, yeah. I'm with you on that. Okay, cool, good. I'm not on my own on that one. Okay, let's jump straight in then and work on some of this music. So there are 3 versions. There's a lead sheet, a simple version and a full version. Can I just ask you to look at the lead sheet initially with me next? So we're going to go onto the lead sheet. Okay. So we've actually already done the technique for part of the lead sheet. So hopefully most of you find this is nice and easy to jump into. I promised you that if you are new, if you are a newbie player, if you are a fledgling, that this wasn't going to be too challenging. So I do hope that that's going to be the case. And you can just take the chords if you want to as well throughout this, because in a minute when we get it all going, it's all going to run together in loops. Okay, so here we go. So these are the raindrops. So it says harmony raindrops, play an octave lower if comfortable. So we just did that first bit, didn't we, a minute ago? We tried doing like this, didn't we? Yeah. Now notice I've marked it pianissimo, so PP there. So it's very, very soft is the idea. The shape moves down to a G and then back to an A. So the first thing I'd like to do is just do those first 3 bars, and we just shift down, our hand position down and then back up. So in fact, before we do it, just practice the shift, guys. Just practice doing A minor chord, G, and then back to A minor. In your own time, just practice that movement. If this is really easy for you, just have a go with both your hands, okay? And if it's really simple, start with your staccato practice, okay? Because that's a little bit more fiddly, I know. Okay, so you can try it with your 2 hands if you want to, for those of you who like that technique best, or you can drop it, I don't mind. Let's try those first 3 bars as written. So I'll count you in. We're thinking coffee, 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 aren't we, for our rhythm, for our 8th notes, for our quavers. So 3 and 4 and coffee, coffee, coffee. Shift down to the G. Coffee, 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 coffee. Back to the A. Brilliant. Okay, I'm playing them very softly. I'm not playing loud as a Zoom. Now I noticed that I didn't damp my C at the end of the first bar. So it's because with the chord shift, my brain went over to G. So there's a very big extra thing to think about there. Let's do it one more time. I'm sure everybody else did do that damp, and it was just me, but I just thought I would share that with you in case anybody else fell down that rabbit hole with me. Here we go then. So from the beginning, 3 and 4 and play damp, play damp, play damp, play damp. Good. We can try and dump that C, move to the G. I'm going to play it a little bit louder just so you can hear me. Move back to the A1. Brilliant. Now you've nearly done the whole thing. We're now going to move down to an F there at the end of the bar, at the end of the line, sorry, and then up to a G. Okay. So you've got quite a big stretch here. If I was going to be really classical about this, I'd tell you should use your fourth finger on that F, okay? And if I was going to be kinder on your soul, I might say go to a 3. I'll let you choose which works for you. But if you are going to do on the 3, just think about your the stretch that you're doing, so you're not brushing the neighboring notes when you do it, okay? Okay, let's do the shift then. Let's go from A minor to F to G. So this is bar 3. And we'll do that, and then I'm going to get up the challenge for those of you that this is easy for. So this is bar 3 at the moment. A minor, twice, F, and then G. Trying to do your play damp or your dropped hand if that's what you're doing instead. 3 and 4 and A, C, E, C, A, C, E, down to the F. Brilliant. Now to the G. It's quite fiddly, isn't it, with those damps in? I don't know. I'd love to know in a minute, hear back from you how you're finding that, or whether you think, Shelley, this is easy. What are you talking about? Okay, so I'm going back to the beginning of the line. For those of you who this is easy for, here's an extra challenge for you. I'd like you to drop it an octave and play it the octave lower, okay? And if you're using the two-hand version, I encourage you, now some of you have heard me talk about using the whole flat of my thumb before, haven't you? So you can kind of almost land down on the whole thumb. Somehow I do this kind of wave thing with the thumb, and it kind of gives you a slight extra buzz on it as well. And if you're thinking of a storm, that's quite a useful sound effect. I know those of you in the pop course, you've heard we've done things with thumbs, haven't we, extra for the sound effect. So if you want to, you can try just doing that kind of roll and then land with the whole flat of the thumb down on the string to try and get an extra sort of zoop sound. I guess I'm trying to use as much contact as possible in order to get the extra kind of little zing at the edge. And again, for those of you who want to keep it simple, just do it, play the chords without the damping, okay, in the octave written. Let's put it all together then. Let's go to the beginning of that line, and then we're going to learn the middle melody. Okay, so here we go. Let's keep it steady. 1, 2, and we'll do that speed. So 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Drop to the G and 2 and 3 and 4. Comes the A and 2 and 3. Drop down to the F and 1 and move to the G. Brilliant. Okay, if we carried on to bar 5 now, look, it goes A minor, G, F, G, A. You've done this all before. Oh, it's almost like it's a Shelley written piece to be looped, isn't it? Right, okay, so let's do it for bar 5. 3 and 4 and A minor and 2 and drop into the G chord then. Lovely. Going down to the F then. Coming up to the G and finishing on the A. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So this can be taken very much at your level, whatever's good for you. And if you find it really super duper easy, you know, again, think about your posture and your hand position and your breathing and everything while you're doing it. You can hear hopefully how that can be, you know, you can start to, you know, if you speed it up, make that sound really like raindrops. There they are. So I've put that through the looper now. So you just got this kind of little tinkling raindrops in the background. So over time, that's a really effective little loop, I hope, or a little effect you can use in anything, or storytelling, or whatever it might be. Okay, I'd like to look at the main theme now, which is here at bar 9 on this lead sheet. Do you recognize this bit? Look, you've got tea, and then you've got tea, coffee, lemonade. Ah, we've done that before, haven't we? So it's an open fifth to begin with. Hi, if you're on Facebook, we're actually over in Zoom, and it's better on Zoom. So you can join me there, and you don't get my double chin in Zoom so much. So it is worth making the change if you can. Okay, brilliant. So we're on the main theme. We're going to go A, E, E, and then you're going into the bit we've just done. So it's just a hunting call sort of a thing at the beginning, isn't it? The open fifth. So let's try that. Let's go A, E, E, coffee, lemonade. Okay, brilliant. Let's just do that. So I'll count you in 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E. 3, 4. I counted that so badly. Okay, but you got the idea. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tea, 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 coffee, lemonade. Okay, brilliant. So let's do it slightly slower for anyone that was too fast for. For those of you who this is easy for, feel free to add in you know, chords on the left, or I challenge those of you who would like a challenge to do. Can you hear what I'm doing there? So I've actually put the first thing that we just learned into the left hand underneath the main theme, and I'm trying to get the left hand to do that stopping as well. So listen. So that's the challenge for those of you ready for it. Betsy, I can see you grinning. You don't have to, I'm just putting it out there. But for those of you who don't want a challenge, sounds beautiful. Single notes, always come back to single notes. They always sound good. Okay, right, here we go. Then let's do it one more time and then we'll move on. So 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and let's do it one more time at that tempo because Kate, you just joined us. We are on the main theme at bar 9. One more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and now if I just play you the rest of this bit then it sounds quite similar. You've got 1, whoops, not if I do that. It sounds like this. 1, I can play it up to speed, otherwise it'd be so slow. 1, 2, 3 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So what you hopefully noticed was that bar 13 and 14 are identical. We love repeats, don't we? Or I do anyway. And that bar 11 is kind of, it's upside down, isn't it? We started off at the beginning of this bit going A and then E, where when you start this bit, it goes E and then A. And look, there's 4 fingers written down here. In fact, let's all practice this bit. Okay, you're going to go A and then C and then D and then E. Okay, so this actually reminds me of Brown Bruce March. I've just realized da 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 dee da dum dum dum. It's almost like Brown Bruce March there. So you're going to go up the hill, and when you get to that 1, here's the big moment. Those of you working on placing at the moment, all 4 fingers have to come land, don't they, when you get to the top, so that you can come down the hill. Rhythm wise, you've got tea, coffee, tea, coffee, tea. Okay, so I'm going from the A on beat 3 there, which is probably a bit of a pain for everyone. So let's go back to the beginning of the bar. We'll go back to the beginning of bar 11 and we'll put that all together. Try and place all 4 fingers is basically what I was ranting on about. Here we go. The 1, we'll do 3 and just keep it steady. So 1 and 2 and we'll keep it really steady. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and who puts a question mark on fingering? I mean, who would do that? So the question mark is there, it's me, and the question mark is there so that you can choose, because actually, does different horses, different courses, it doesn't make any difference really which finger you put there. So you can go to 1, you can go, personally, I would probably now go to 3 because I've got really lazy because my 3rd finger's just been on that C, so I can just come back onto it. But I know in the olden days, I would have always gone to thumb or maybe 2. So I've left it with a question mark. So you choose what's comfortable for your technique, what's going to make you make a beautiful sound right now that you can enjoy. Okay, carrying on to bar 13. We can do this bit together because we've already done it above. So let's do bar 13. Those of you who it's easy for, remember to put your staccatos underneath. There's no time, no need to relax. Here we go, bar 13. So we'll do that. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and then you come in on bar 4, beat 4 and you put all 4 fingers down. You do the D on its own. You put all 4 fingers down. You go tea, coffee, tea. Okay, I know that's a dotted one, but for the sake of the words, we're going to go tea, coffee, tea, and cream. Okay, so you've got tea, tea, coffee, tea, and cream. Do you want to try that bit with me? So that was D, E, and then E, and it comes down on a scale and finishes on going C, A. I think I may have said E, so if I did, then it's an A. Okay, let's go from this beat here, which is the D, it's the upbeat, into the final 2 bars. I'll count you 1, 2, 3, you come in on 4, please. Here we go. 1, 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, let's do that one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Brilliant. Let's try it together. Let's go from the beginning to bar 9 of the main theme. And for those of you who are fledgling, I didn't mean to forget you, but remember you can do the chords all the way through. So while we're doing the tune, you can be doing A chord and G chord, and then A chord, and then F and G. Okay, so please don't feel completely lost. Okay, let's go from bar 9 then. Let's do the whole of the main theme. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 at that speed. Okay, yeah. Here we go then. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 I think I'm getting that. Okay. And then we're going to the F chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3. Brilliant. Note to self, playing the left hand staccato and counting and playing was not a great combo for me, but there we are, that's okay. So that's the main theme. And if you want to play this as a tune, you can literally, you know, do this as an introduction, not this fast if you don't want to, on its own. So you're establishing like the raindrops, then you can do the main theme with the raindrops underneath. You could then go into an improv, you know, so I know that I'm going into random notes there, but what I'm trying to say is this can act as a piece. You can just do the raindrops, the theme, use the chords for improvisation, come back to the raindrops and you're done. So you can use it as a solo is the point of that. Okay, what time is it? Okay, the time motors by these days. Right, okay, I'm going to bring up the last screen share. So you've now chosen, I hope, guys, a simplified version for yourself or a full version. Is that right? Has everybody got a simplified or a full version in front of them? Yes, brilliant. There's lots of nods. Good, good, good. So choose whichever one you're going to have a play around with tonight. Remembering there is always time to work on this. You know, you can use. I give you full permission to use this with friends and just enjoy playing it. You know, if and when you get a chance to. So this isn't the only playthrough. This is me giving you an overview. Okay, so let me just talk you through these two versions so that you know what's going on. There's one other weird thing I also need to show you about it. If any of you have got, where's my tuning key? A metal tuning key, like this, okay, with a metal bit here, then great. If you haven't, you can use the back of a spoon for this. But you'll notice that when you get in both parts, I think it's in both parts anyway, at the end, there are some signal bars. Okay, so it says one harpist plays tuning peg glissando rhythmically as shown below with metal tuning pin or teaspoon handle to tell other players to move to H. Okay, so hopefully I can make this all clear to you in a minute, but can you see these ziggity zaggity lines I've put here? This is not a standard thing. This is just what I've drawn in. It's showing that sound. Okay, now I'm sure many of you, you've all done this. Has everyone done this before? I can see some of you smiling. So you've got the tuning, you get the tuning key, and then you know the bit that we actually attach our tuning peg to. I'm just looking to see if there's a harp I can wave at you. I'm using those. I'm just going to duck down and grab this lap harp. Okay. So I'm just using this bit here. So this is where we would normally tune from, and I'm running the metal along here. Okay. It doesn't make, I know it doesn't make a beautiful sound, but it does sound a little bit like a thunder, you know, the thunder in the distance, right? That's the plan with this. So if you can't do that with your key because you've got one of these lovely ones that can't injure your soundboards, it's got plastic around it, which are much better, by the way. But if you haven't, then you can use I found you can use the back of a teaspoon, and it makes this sound. And so the idea is when you get to that in the piece, if you were playing, say, with 4 harpists or something like that, you might decide to all go off onto different lines, like I'm going to explain in a minute. And you might say, right, you know, I don't know who's connected to see. You might say, Barbara, when you get to when you decide that we've all played enough, you're going to do the signal bars. And so Barbara would then go on beat 1 here. She'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear it get sort of more frantic? And the idea is that everybody will hear that over. You know, if there's the rainstorm going on, and it does kind of cut through. So that's the idea with that. So that's just to demystify that for you. I'm just curious, did anybody just try that? Is anybody trying it? Yes, a few of you. And there's others of you going, no, I'm not doing that to my harp. Oh yeah, brilliant. Okay, I can see a few of you have. Yay, great. Okay. Okay, so just going through this full version then. It's the raindrops at the beginning that we played, but I've dropped them to the octave, so they look different, okay? I know they look different, and I'm sorry about that. It's sort of to avoid the ledger lines, and that shows you that my preference is that thumb way, yeah? Where the left hand's doing the note, okay? This is then in loop, so letter B, and this is the same on both parts, then is another kind of accompaniment pattern. So you get this, we'll look at it in a minute, which is just acts as an accompaniment. Okay, at letter C, you then get the melody that we just learned. So you've learned that bit already. At D, you get a harmony for it. So in a minute, those of you that feel happy to, the rhythm is identical. It's still that tea, 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 coffee, lemonade thing rhythm. It's just that I've changed it so it just comes out as a harmony when you get both lines. Letter E, you get this dum da 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 dum, ya da 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 dum, dee da 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 dum, ya da 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 da. So you get this another accompaniment to go with it, along with the 158 unturn under 158 210 that we've done, 910, sorry, that we've done some of us. F is another accompaniment, and I can show you this one in a bit more detail in a minute. So it's just a sort of a filler in a way. G is there for those fancy pants amongst you who are like, Shelley, this is way too easy. For the rest of you, ignore G, but those of you who want it, you can go. Okay, it's basically there just so that those of you who love to go, here I am with my lovely chords, you've got it there. You can flourish and show your beautiful chords there, okay? So it's, and it's the idea is the storm gets bigger and bigger. And then we've got those signal bars. And remember, in the group, you would hear the signal bars and you'd all stop wherever you'd got to in the piece because you can mix and match. And then we'd all go. So you can imagine it's quite powerful after the wall of sound. Going back to that. Okay, let me just show you, and then it finishes with the staccato, and the coda has got the tuning peg glissando on it. So for those of you who want to, at the end, you can do it like this, but you don't have to. It's optional. So one last thing, and then I'm going to get you to play it. Let's show you the other version for those of you who are doing the other one, because some of it's simplified down. So let's just get that open for you so you can see it. There it is. Okay, this is the simplified part. Brilliant. Okay, fantastic. So there's a few little small differences, hopefully to make your life easier. Can you see the other part now? Has it changed, guys? No, it hasn't, has it? Let me just try that one more time. That didn't work. Let's try it again. This is it. Okay, got it now. Can you see a simplified version this time? Does it look different? No! Tell you what, I'll try actually closing it then. Stop share. Whoops. Okay, let's try one last time. Okay, here it comes now. That's simplified. No, I just want you to play the advanced version. Fine. Okay. Let's just see that one last thing I can try and see if this will make this easier. Right, closing down. Okay. Oh, is it that I've saved the word? No, I haven't. It is the right one. Okay. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience on this. Okay. Now can you see it? Is it look simplified? Yes, phew. Oh, there. Thank you very much. Right. Okay. So the simplified version. If you notice that again, it's down the octave. These raindrops. So you can read from the lead sheet. You don't have to read it looking like this. The B part is very similar to the other version. I've just taken out some of the left-hand notes to make it slightly easier. So we noodle around these same pitches, and I'll show you that in a minute. C is the melody again. D is the counter melody or the harmony, if you like. I've taken out the left hand at E, so that's much easier. You're into chords at F to make that easier. And then instead of doing all, I told you about the fancy things that people are going to be doing. Well, for the simplified part, we're just going to do this. It's the wind, isn't it, of the storm, okay? So you can just play the glissandos in that hand. So let's do this. Let's go to the very beginning on whichever part you're on. And let's start by just doing the whole of A, and then we'll work on B and we'll layer them up and you'll hear them through the looper. So first of all, whichever version you're on, I'm going to take the music away so you can see me if you want to, or you can just look down and ignore me, whichever's good for you. And we're going to first of all do section A. So practice whichever technique you're going to. Let's do it, okay? So section A, going in to my loop on my end, and you're having a practice at your end. Can we take it a little bit faster? Does that sound realistic? Can we go like that? Is that going to be okay? I can't see any nodding. I'm going to go with it. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Move to the G, G. Back to the A. Very good. Now the F, G. Then the A, G. Then the F, G, A. Brilliant. Okay, so mine's in the looper now. So let's all look at B together now. Okay. So I'm actually going to play from the simplified version because I'm going to look after our Norrises here. But if so, those of you who are more fancy pants players, brilliant. But do ask me any questions if you get stuck. So at B, what happens is you get if you put your hand down on a C, D, and E in the right hand on this part, then you're doing the A like you did up on the first part. You're going A in the left, and then G, G. But your right hand kind of takes over and goes. So can you see it takes over on the rhythm? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and they alternate and they take over from one another. And you're going up with the C, D, E, and then you're going down E, D, C. And those of you on the full version, it fits what you've got written down with this. So let's just try the bar 9 of this, okay? So we'll go 1 and 2 and at that speed. So 3 and 4 and A, C, D, E, A, E, D, C. Okay, let's do that one more time. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bravo. For those of you who are wanting to keep this simple, you can carry on with A. It works against the B line, okay? So by A and B, you see I've got these big rehearsal marks there, okay? So, and then it stays very similar, but everything moves down by 1. You're now G in the left, and you're going to go B, C, D, and then D, C, B, up and down the hill in there, and then you're just putting the other hand in the gap. So you're going to go G on the left, then B, C, D, G, D, C, B. If you haven't already, try that in your own time. Just see how it feels. Yeah. Okay, and then let's try it together. So we do it at the speed. Okay. So 3 and 4 and G, B, C, D, G, B. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to do that one more time. Okay, so that same bar as bar 10. 3 and 4 and G, B, C, D, D, C, B. Marvelous. Okay, let's go back and do bar 9 and then 10. So those of you on the more advanced version, your notes fit. So here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Move down. Here's the good news, it then moves back up, okay, to the A, and you just repeat what you just did. So it's really, really straightforward, I hope, and if it's not, then just play the left hand or play the other part. And then the final line on that bar, you've got F, A, B, C, so it's like the same taking over idea, but you drop down to the F, and then you move up to the G, and you come down the hill. Okay? So it's moved into ledger line territory, but hopefully it's okay. Should we try the line? Is that okay? Should we try from bar 9 and try all of that together? Okay, so bar 9. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now the G. 2 and back up to the A in the left. A, C, D, E, A, E, D, C. Get to the F and then to the G in the left. And don't worry, I don't know whether any of you find this, sometimes your hand, when you're going up and down the hill like this, sometimes you find you've gone up twice or down twice. So if that ever happens to any of you, don't worry, it will fit with the harmony, okay? It will be okay. Lovely, okay then. So let's just finish this because then we can go into C and layer the 3 of them and hopefully you'll get a feel for the piece then. So bar 13, unlucky for some, but not for us because it's a repeat of the bar above. So you're just doing a repeat of bar 9, but this bar on is a repeat of the bar above as well. So just try this in your own time. And the next bar along, F, A, B, C, G, D, C, B. Oh, look, it's a repeat of the bar that we did up there, bar 12. And you finish off by going A, E, D, C, A. Okay, so hopefully that's okay for everyone. Those of you on the more advanced copy, was that okay with you? Did you know what you had to do? Can I have some nods or thumbs up? Or if you weren't sure, give me a thumbs down. No, everyone seems to be giving me thumbs up. Okay, you'll have to shout at me then if I've missed you. I'm sorry. Okay, let's try. Let's see what tempo we did the raindrops in the looper. But quite steady. Okay, so we're now going to go. We'll add in our these ones. So they'll be going. So you're at this speed. Okay, I'll count you in a minute. We'll add those in. If you are keeping it simple tonight, just do the raindrops or the chords underneath. Okay, everyone ready then? This is going to go from B. And I'll count you in now. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. F in the bass. G, A, G, G. F in the bass. G. Brilliant. Okay, just so that you get a feel for this now, if you're lost, bear with me for a minute. Can we do C so that you can add in the melody this time, okay? On the more advanced part, there is the noodling in the left. You can just play chords or just play the right hand if you like instead. So we'll go from bar 17, letter C, 1 and 2, and here it goes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lemonade. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and lemonade. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so have a listen to those now. You can hear these three parts together. So you can hear how this kind of layers up. If those of you are feeling brave tonight, have a look at D, and we'll try D next on top, okay? It's the same rhythms. For those of you who are more novice, do C instead. Okay, so letter D if you want to. Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, brilliant. Well done. Okay, so that gives you the start of the piece, doesn't it? To have a little listen to. In a minute, we're going to take a break. But before we do, I'm just going to go over to the more advanced version. And those of you who are on the simpler version, you can do this by ear if you like, because this is one of my favorite kind of, those of you who know me well, know that I like this as a warm-up, this little idea I'm going to share with you now anyway. So it's just useful for our fingers. So can you see the more advanced one now? Please tell me that you can. Have I got better at screen sharing? Okay, yeah, thank you, Kimberly. Okay, so this I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you F. Actually, we're going to skip E for a moment. This at F, for those of you who have done things like the pop course with me, or you've done flourishing harpist, these are this is like the 9th shape, isn't it? So one of the shapes that I like to use a lot, which adds in a 9. So if you let's put the chord on first of all. So it's, we're going to put right hand, we're going to put 4 on a B, we're going to put 3 on a C, we're going to put 2 on an E, and we're going to put thumb on an A. I'm going to say that one more time. So that was 4 on a B, 3 on a C, 2 on an E, and thumb on an A. Okay. Why did I say it from the bottom up when it's written from the top down, flourishing harpists? Because it's one of our chord shapes. Yeah, okay. And if we read from the bottom up, we start to think of them in shapes. And instead of you having to read any of you where you're reading each of these notes, believe me, I've spent a long time there in my life, but it gets to a point where if you can see this as a shape, then your hand lands for you. You only have to read one of the notes to get the shape then, to get the hand on, which is a real bit of moment of freedom. Okay, and there's an A in the bass. For those of you who want to go straight in hands together, you can. And that's why it becomes, has got the added 9 in it, because the B is the 9 from the A, or the second. Anyway, I'm glossing over that. I want to talk about shapes, really. So this shape, look, you've got this shape. Look at your hand now, everybody. Look at this, B, C, E, A. Okay, close your eyes for a minute. Think about how it feels under your hand, okay? There's a big gap, isn't there, between thumb and 2? Yes, I'm pointing out the blindingly obvious. I know I am. But just think about the way it feels for a moment. Think about how the gap of the third space feels between finger 2 and 3. Think about how the closeness of 3 and 4 there. Think about that shape, okay? Because what's then going to happen in the next bar, in bar 42, is you're going to shift down that shape by 1 note. The shape is the same, so you don't try not to think about the notes. Just think, I'm moving that shape, and I'm moving my hand down by 1. To take out having to go, oh, I'm going to read all these notes, just think that shape moves down by 1. Because then when you go to bar 43, Oh, look, the shape moves up again. Woohoo! And then when you get to bar 44, novices, stay with me on this if you can, because it's worth a little go. We have changed the shape, but we've still got the big gap, look, between thumb and two that we had, and then they're all like a scale. So the shape now, I'm going to give it to you from the bottom up again. I know it's irritating, but I'm going to keep banging on about this until you're all with me. Okay, you got A, B, C, and F. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the shape. And then you move that up by 1. Yeah? Okay, bar 45, you're back to the same shapes as the above. So the shape's the same. Then you're back to the scale with the 4th scale, and then the same 9th shape at the end. So these are all patterns, aren't they, guys? And for those of you who want to do all of this, those of you who are doing this more advanced version, in the left, personally, I would go 4, 2, 1, 2, 1 in the left. If you've got alternative fingering that works nicely and you want to share it with the group, please do, because I know that this differs. Remember, you know, many roads lead to Rome. As long as you can play it beautifully and smoothly, I don't mind what you do. Okay, so if you were going to do the left as well, that's what you'd be doing there. Okay, so just putting that together before we take a little mini break. Those of you on the simplified part at F, I can't remember what I've given you at F right now. I think it's chords, isn't it? Let's just look at the simple part at F. Yes, so at F, I've given you, instead of doing the chords like these, the raindrops, they're the same chords, aren't they? But we're going down. And so, and they're marked for fortissimo, so double F there. So really squeeze on your string and try and let go of your string before you take the pressure off. So you know, push onto the string and then take your finger or your thumb off as the string is slightly squeezed out of position. And that's the way you'll get a really big ring and a big forte sound. And I'm not after beauty here, okay? It's meant to be a storm, so remember that, okay? So let's just play from F once, and I will play all these notes. So those of you on the simplified part, or those of you playing the lead sheet, stick to the chords. I'll try and name the chords for you, okay? So let's just see what the tempo we were doing was. Okay, so we'll do it at that speed. That's really steady. 1, so okay, 1 and 2. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. Keep it that speed. Okay, so and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's give it a go. Okay, so you can do as little or as much as you want, starting with the A chords, everyone. A minor chords. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and move to the G chords. 1 and 2 and 3. Move back to the A chords. 1 and 2 and down to the F. You've got the scaly bit now on the more advanced version. Bar 45 now. Back to the A minor. 2 and 3 and down to the G. 1, 2 and 3 and into the scale type 1s. 2 and G in the bass. Back to the A minor. Oh, there's some nice counterpoint, nice country motion, going on in there, isn't it, for us to work on? Yeah, some nods there, like, yes, Shelley. Okay, I think I will give you a break now before we carry on. So what we tend to do, if you haven't been to the session before, is I'll put you into smaller breakout rooms so you can have a chat if you want to, and we'll just have a sort of a 5 or so minute break. I actually want to do a little group challenge as well tonight, so you'll get to go back into a breakout room afterwards again anyway, but this is your chatting break or your comfort break or your getting a cup of tea break or a glass of gin, whatever you're doing tonight. So thank you, everybody. We'll take our little breather break now, and I will see you shortly. So let me just get these breakout rooms sorted. If you are under 18, could you stay in this in the Zoom room with me? And if you want to turn your screen off and just take a break, you are, of course, welcome to. So here we go then. Assigning 7 to 8 per room. That sounds quite a lot. It's hard to have a chat with that many people, isn't it? Let's see if I can add a few more. Okay. Right. Okay. You should get your invitations now, guys, then. And I'll see you in like, let's give you 8 minutes. That sounds like too much. 7 minutes. Let's compromise. Okay. 5 minutes. I don't know, whatever. I'll see you shortly. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And welcome to staying here if you want to ask me any questions as well. Now's a good time to ask me any questions you might have. There's 4 of you watching me on Facebook. I hope you're okay, Francis and Sally, and well, I can't see who else is watching. Hello, I'm sure I can work it out somehow, but I can't right now. Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's nice to see you on Facebook too. Send me a message so I know what you're up to. Yeah, we are in Zoom if you want to join us. Does anybody want to ask any questions? Hi,
I do.
Jane. Hi, Jane. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm okay, and it's lovely to see you as well. I want to ask you about the weekend.
Yes, please do.
And the story thing that we're doing with that Henrietta.
Yes. Okay. So I haven't invited you all to help me with Henrietta because I'm not sure that I'm going to have the capacity to be able to do it as a group this time, just because of the number of things I'm trying to get to pull together. So I think probably I'm going to have to do it as a solo this time, but then we will do it. Maybe I'm almost thinking we might do it as our collaboration video. Next collaboration video to officially do it with Henrietta as a group, because I think that would be the most fun way. So what I would say is if you are willing and able, you can watch my first go at this, and then we can do it as a group afterwards. But I unless some miracle happens and everything takes me half the time that I think it's going to between now and then, I think that I'm having to pause on doing it as a group, which I hope won't disappoint you too much, Jane.
No, that's okay.
It's not that we're not going to do it. Okay. Okay.
Because I joined it last year on was it on Facebook last year?
Yes. Yeah.
Or it was somewhere, and I sort of haphazardly joined it in different parts, and it's not on Zoom, is it? It will be on Facebook.
Yeah, so the things that will be on Zoom is the Ensemble group, like we're doing now, on the
Sunday afternoon.
On Saturday night, there'll be this Ensemble. We're going to meet to learn Henrietta's Dream, so to learn the music as an ensemble version. And then the other live thing I'm doing is the Sunday afternoon, which is our regular immersion, to be honest, but we'll learn the solo of Henrietta. Well, I'm going to give you the lead sheet of Henrietta's Dream so we can do our 50 ways to play a chord using that. Thank you, Betsy, for the idea, if you can hear me.
Yes, I've signed up for that.
Yes, I saw that. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so that's those are the 2 live things. The rest of it, and when you say you joined haphazardly, that's absolutely fine. I've got delivery times, as in times they'll go out on Facebook, but you'll be able to watch them over the weekend after they've gone live. They'll then hang around. And what I did last year, to make it easier in some ways, I hope for people to find, was I shared it on my work page too, so that it popped up on that stream. So hopefully you'll be able to find it one way or another. And the same with the Sunday night concert. I may, well, yeah, that's going to stream live through Facebook as well. But after that, it will appear on YouTube. I will put it out on YouTube once it's been out on Facebook live once. Yeah.
Okay, that's brilliant. That's okay. I feel happier about that now.
Good. Okay.
I understand it better.
Good. Yeah. It's I mean, the thing is that it's just kind of, there's some offerings there, and you can pick and mix with what you can fit in, and you might do them all. You might do all the little 15-minute things in one go at some point, so whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Cool. Marvelous. Now there's somebody called Oliver Starkweather coming in, and it says she, her, his, they, which makes me anxious. So I'm going to let them in and hope that they're a person. Hello, person. But you need to put your camera on, please, when you arrive. Laurie, you waved at me. Hi, Laurie. Nice to see you.
Yes, and I have a question, if it's okay.
Yeah, please do.
So the last month I wasn't able to attend.
Okay.
And also I tried to find the replay a couple of days later. Yeah. But I got an email that it was only available for 24 hours. Is that true, or can I go back in Rizuku and see the replay now?
Laurie, you're in Patreon, aren't you? Or you?
I am not.
You're not. No, that's fine. Okay. So yeah,
joining.
No, that's fine.
You have to be in Patreon.
No, well, so what I've done is that I do put it up for 24 hours for so that it's there for anyone that can't make it live for free. And after that, the replay then is available for people on Patreon for longer. Okay. The honest truth is, Laurie, is I don't usually take it down straight away because I just don't get around to it. So you can usually find it for a few days longer. But
I couldn't find it.
My offering, you couldn't find it either. Okay. Let me see if there's been a problem with that. But
So if I'm doing Patreon, I could go on now and catch last month's.
Yes, although Jane is saying no, but let me just have a look. Kate's saying yes. Okay. Let me just, sorry, I'm just going to bring up my YouTube account so I can just check that there wasn't actually a glitch with last month's one for some reason. Well, we're on live. There's 2 of you watching now on Facebook Live. Is it still Sally and Francis? I'm not sure. Hello, whoever you are. Okay, and it wants me to sign in. Let's see if I'm signed in the other browser. I'm just going to check and see if I've got the link and just make sure it went up. Although I think that probably those of you who are asking, okay, yeah, so it's on there. Okay. Okay. Has anybody else got a question while I'm just looking this? I'm just checking in on this that they want to ask me, because then I will call everyone back. Sorry, it's just taking me a moment to find this because they're hidden, because they're videos that aren't public. They're slightly hidden in my account. Okay, I think I've got that now. Right, uploads. Dynamic Harps Virtual Ensemble August. Yeah, it is showing in there. So yes, so it's that it's so yeah, I put it up directly. Laurie, I can drop me an email about it, Laurie and Jane, and I'll explain it to you better on email. But basically, yeah, it's that it goes up for free for 24 hours plus a little tiny bit sometimes. So that everyone can get it for free, whatever their time zone, and then after that it goes in so the people on Patreon can have got it sort of forever whenever they want to go back. Yeah.
Thank you for answering.
That's okay. Hazel, you're waving at me.
You know the weekend thing?
Yes.
I'm away for part of it. Well, I'm not away, but I'm out most of the day on the Saturday. Because I have actually like a harp thing in Cardigan with Maynard Halen.
A face-to-face harp thing. That's brilliant. Yeah, great. Okay, so the answer is that I think what you're going to say to me is, can you watch it afterwards? Yes, they'll go out at the times that I said they're going out. The things that aren't live, so the ensemble thing will go out like this, and the immersion will go out like this. But everything else is pre-recorded. It will be uploaded into Facebook to live stream at the times that I've given. But then after that, it will lurk about in the event, and you'll be able to go and find it afterwards. So yeah, so you don't have to miss it. So yeah, that's fine. And I'll give warning before I take it all down. And so don't worry, that's fine. Enjoy your face-to-face thing. Make the most of that, and send my very best regards to Mania as well, please. Like that a lot. Right, okay then, I'm sure I better invite people back, so let me invite them back. So I'm going to close the rooms. Okay, fantastic. Right, I wanted to set everyone a little group challenge. The time is ticking on. They'll all stay until the last moment. You know that, don't you? Oh, Hazel, we didn't get to play together this week. Normally Hazel and I play together, but I missed it now. Maybe we will have to do something in a minute. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Now, Olivia, sorry, can I just see that you are a harpist, or could you answer me some harp-related question? You can tell me what your harp is or something, so that I know you're a human, because you've joined us and I haven't seen you on screen. So just make sure that no, you're not a hacker. That would be brilliant. So if everyone can keep an eye and let me know when Olivia's got her screen on, that would be amazing. Okay, brilliant. Wonderful. Hi. Yeah. Sorry, hi.
It's Hazel. She had her screen on earlier.
Oh, did she? Oh, she's just gone out and come back in. Okay, Olivia, then Hazel, thank you for being so vigilant. Appreciate it. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Did you have a nice break? Was it nice to see some people? Yeah, did you have interesting harp facts? Did anyone pick up some harp gossip or harp facts they need to share? Oh, okay, Jane's giving me a thumbs up. Does this mean you've got the triple, Jane? No, okay. Jane's waiting for a triple harp, everyone, which is very exciting, and I cannot wait when she's got it to hear it. But that wasn't the news. Okay, cool. Okay then, well, welcome back. Thank you very much. we chatted in this room about the Harp weekend, and just so the things that kept coming up, well, the two things that I realized maybe I'm not being too clear on over the Harp weekend, the things that are pre-recorded will stream on Facebook at the time I've given, but then they're going to lurk about in the event. Okay, so what I mean by that is that the video will then be there inside the Facebook events page, so you'll be able to go down and find, you know, my Pop with Pizzazz little mini video and my modes mini video and all that kind of stuff to watch at your leisure. So if you can't make it live, it'd be great if you can. I'll be there and probably be, you know, messaging to see if anyone's there, wants to ask any questions on that when they're going out, but you don't need to. So the only live things are the 8:30 p.m. Ensemble for Henrietta's Dream, learning their Hedgehog Lullaby. Of which I'm telling the story of in the day, if you want to hear the story, which is aimed at children. And then there's the immersion later on the Sunday afternoon. And if you can invite your Harp friends to my concert at 8 o'clock on the Sunday night, that's kind of the launch of my CD. So it'd be amazing if you can get anybody to come and join and watch live. I'd be thrilled if you can, and all your friends can make it too. Okay, let's carry on. Right, so we'll do a quick bit of the last bit, because I want to put the whole thing together and show you how you can add in some things. So I'm coming back onto the music now. We've done A, we've done raindrops, we've talked about different ways of doing it. We've done B with a ya-da-dum-dee-da-da bits. We've done the C melody. I've not taught you the counter melody at D, but if you decide you like this piece, you know how to do that because it's got the rhythms the same. So it's very similar. We've looked at F, the sort of fancy one here. So I skipped E. Let's do E for a moment, everybody. Let's look onto E. On the simplified version, the only difference is that the left-hand part is missing. So I think I'll go from the full version, but it shouldn't hopefully confuse you if you're on the simplified version. So this is letter E. This is it's another filler bit, really, isn't it? We've got the dreaded 5 notes. I don't mean the dreaded 5 notes, the beautiful 5-note run on the harp, which gives you the world of possibility at your fingertips of which fingering you're going to use. Okay, so I don't mind what you do. Okay, so you know, you might decide to go thumb slides. You might, some of you might. You might do, you know, 1, 2, and then turn. You might do 1, 2, 3 and turn. Whatever is fine. I can't think of any reason why any of those wouldn't be a good idea. If you wanted to be, that's probably the laziest fingering to do. Sorry, the most efficient fingering that you could do would be to land with the 3rd finger on the A, because then you can just put 2 and 1 back on. You can't just come up the hill here. So if you were going to do that, then you would do 1 and you do 2, 1, 2, 3. Rhythm being tea, coffee, tea, tea. Yeah. Then watch out, folks. There is a rest. So you get this dee da da dum dum, da dee da da dum. So watch out for that quarter note rest, that crotchet rest, that T rest. Okay, that happens there. You've got to think 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and sniff, if you like. Yeah, dee da da dum. Okay, something to make sure you've got that. Yes, I saw Hazel go. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so just don't do that in a concert, right? Okay, brilliant. So that's the one to, you know, if you're one of those people, like I'm sure I am, that can sometimes play an arrest and kind of go, oh no, circle it, you know, or highlight it. I know Jill's here. Jill, you're a big fan of the highlighter pen, aren't you? So you can highlight it if you want to. Okay, so let's go from bar 33, and we're going to go tea, coffee, tea, tea, rest, coffee, coffee, tea. Okay, I know that was a little bit fast, so I'll just slow it down a touch and see if we can do those bars. Those of you want to, you can do the left as well if you're doing the left on the harder version. So we'll do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and here's the rest. So I played in the rest because I played the left hand, didn't I? So I'm just going to do it one more time without the left so I don't put you off. One more time from E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and E, D, C, B, A. 1 and B, C, B, A, G. Brilliant. The next bit's very similar, isn't it? Dum, da, 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 dum. Da, 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 da. And when I say similar, I mean identical. Okay, and then at bar 37. Dum, da, 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 dum. Ya, dee, da, da, da. Oh, lovely. Like, that's identical too. So you do the 2 bars 3 times. Then you get scales. Look, you've got on this bar 39, you've got E, D, C, D, C, B, and then you're going to go A, B, A, G, A. That's one of those knitting moments. With the fingering, you know, you just want to probably be a little bit careful. If you come from the bar 39, you can do anything you like, I'm sure, but I found myself going 1, 2, 3, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I did 1, 2, 3, 2. There will be loads of variations on that. That's kind of the one where you have to move your hand the least. But some of you might have done some hops and skips. It's not very fast. Well, we're not playing it very fast, so it won't matter. Okay, shall we try the whole of E then? Okay. So let's do the whole of E. Dum, da, da, dum, dum. At that speed, those of you who are playing the raindrops, I will try and give the chords for you. Remember, the raindrops fit with everything, so if you're feeling lost, do not worry, do your raindrops. 2, okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's the rest. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and then 2 and 3 and I think I just messed that up. We'll just do that one more time because that was a Shelley mistake. We'll do that one more time. So we'll go back from E so that you've got this right in this. And I'm going to embrace imperfection in the replay so you're going to get that warts and all. Letter E. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it repeats, doesn't it? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 is the rest. 2 and 3. Now these are like scales. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and noodles. Okay, brilliant, fantastic. So that's E. We've done F. Okay, G. For those of you who want to really do loads and loads of notes, you can. On the simplified version, we've got glissandos. And you don't have to follow them up and down as I've written. It's just, think of it like, you know, the storm is raging and this is just the wind, okay? So you don't need to worry about the timing too much. Keep the left in, but the right can just be, you know, whatever you feel is comfortable for you. Actually, let me just come up and show you one of my favorite things about this. I'm sure you guys all do this. So apologies if I'm doing something really obvious, but let me just put myself on spotlight. When you're doing one of these rounds and rounds, glissandos, when they're marked zigzag down and then up, those are on the advanced version, you haven't got it. But what it is it's the zigzag glissando line going up to the top of a hill and then back down without a pitch at the top or the bottom. My thing that I always try and do is I try and join it up. So rather than going or and then a gap or anything like that, I'm trying to bring my fingers, my two up, so it closes the gap. Can you see? So that when the thumb comes to go down, there's not such a space. If I possibly can. So I'm kind of, I kind of do this swoop. I'm sure I copied it from somebody at some point. I don't think I made this up. And I know that I don't always manage it so much, but I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible. And I literally think of it like I'm drawing an oval on the harp when I'm doing this, and I'm closing in each time. So you get the big gap, you know, like when you're going up, you might have a gap between the thumb and the two, but you close in on it. And when you're coming down, you might have the gap, but then close in on it. I find it hard at the bottom, but you can do it in the kind of motion like this. So there we are. If you don't do that already, or you can do a figure of 8 as well. That also works. So the 8, you know, the middle of the 8 being there. So you can just practice around with that. If you find you get a sort of a jilty stopping bit in the middle of what you're doing, you might just like to have a little experiment with that. Okay, so I think you can still see me. Yes, you can. Right, okay. Oh, the time is going. Right, okay. But those of you who are doing, so those of you on the simplified part, you can ignore this now, but you can be practicing your lute swooping if you like. Okay, so for those of you on the harder part, it's almost the tune that we've been doing. I've just added in a load of beefy chords so you can really whack it out. So the first one is the A minor rolled chord. I would probably roll the bass as well. It's not marked, but so you don't have to. But it's quite fun if you do the whole thing. So you think of the 7 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dum, 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 da, da. And then you can roll at the beginning of this bar as well. This one's taking you into the first inversion, isn't it? G chord here at the top there. And then you're going into a second version at the top of the harp here. And then you're going back into your, second inversion again then. More octaves. Second inversion again. octaves, first inversion, first, second, octaves, and then we're finishing on the roots. I went through that really fast because I'm assuming that only people who want to do lots of chords will do that one. You can improvise this in a moment. I'll talk about that. But yeah, just really, really, really go for this. If you're going to do it, you know, just thump it out, make it really, really big, like, you know, the crashing of the thunder is happening really with that. Okay, the last bit we talked about was the signal bars, didn't we? And I talked about that at the beginning. When you hear the signal bars, and we'll play this through now, and when you hear these signal bars, you are, that's, and I will say to you, I'm playing the signal bars. That's your cue to know that once you hear me going on the harp, we're going to jump to H, okay, for the playthrough, and then H, it goes into the tune that we've done before. It's very slightly different, actually, I think it drops right down and it doesn't the first time through, but it's almost the same. The rhythm is the same. And then you go on to the raindrops, and the coda you don't have to do, but if you decide you want to, it's doing the tuning peg on where I've marked the zigzaggy line, okay, and doing quite fast strokes on those. But you don't have to do that at all. That could be a solo for someone, or it could, you can just fade out and round here if you prefer. So let's talk about how we're going to put this together. We'll do it now. I'll put it in the looper so you'll get the feeling of the ensemble. But we're going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We're going to go right through. Then we're going to go into improvising. So for any of you, I haven't talked about that tonight because I haven't really had, I've run out of time to, but you know, you can do as many variation, you know, as much flourishes, as many flourishes as you like on the chord patterns, or you can go back to A. And you could just say, Shelley, I'm going to play A 16 times until this is over, and then I'm going to smile and say goodnight. Or you can play the whole lot. I don't mind. So, you know, I'm going to go through them in order so that you hear the loops pile up. You can go wherever you like and stop where you're comfortable, just to be in the moment where, you know, I know you can't hear everyone, but we are, you know, global harp hands. We're here together to hang out and enjoy our instruments. So just imagine that that it isn't me. It's that it's everybody playing you can hear. Just enjoy your sound mixing in with the ensemble. This is the power of ensemble. It doesn't matter whether we're beginners or we're more advanced. We can find our place and play to our level to give ourselves the satisfaction and enjoyment of playing music together. So just be comfortable tonight, do something fun. And when you hear me then going, scraping my poor heart, when you hear that, you'll know that at that point you jump to H, and that's when we play the melody, and then we play the raindrops, okay? And we won't worry too much about the coda. Just one last thing, because I have run out of time tonight. If you want to improvise, I haven't got time to teach you anything about it tonight, have I? But those of you that are familiar with it, you know, you can use the safe notes if you like, and then, you know, move away from them, or you can try doing some, you know, some chordal work, and you just know it will fit. So you're almost just improvising an accompaniment, if you like, if you just use A, G, F, and G throughout. Or, you know, those of you who are already, you know, fully fledged on this, just enjoy, just go wild with it. We are going to need to pick up the tempo a little bit. So let's think, again, the tune is, I think it will sound okay at that tempo, don't you? Does that sound okay at that tempo? Yeah? Okay, so, but puts that at that speed. Is that realistic, guys? Am I just about to make everyone sad? Does that sound like a realistic? Can I have a thumbs up if that's okay, or a wibbly hand if that sounded awful? Okay, there's a few little wibbly hands. Okay, remember, you don't have to play all the notes. I will take it a smidge under then, she says. I hope I'm now going to take it a smidge under, because I am famed for saying that and then going off faster, aren't I, Jill? But let's try not to. Okay, right. Do you want the music on the screen, or will you all be your heads down anyway? Just one last question before we start this. Music on the screen? On the screen. Hazel's like, on the screen. Okay, fine. Okay, right. Okay, here it comes then. Let's do this. Enjoy, okay? Just enjoy this. And if you get lost, what are you going to do? You're going to play the raindrops or the chords. Yeah, you don't need to be lost and not joining in. Just do something that feels good. Okay, right. So I started doing it a bit slower. So okay, let's try. I think that's a smidge under. Then I hope that is. It just means I'm way more likely to go out of time on the looper. But you know, we can just embrace imperfection. So are you ready? Letter A. So I'll count you in one bar and then we'll start then. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A. G, A, F. Lovely raindrops, everyone. A, G, F, G, A. Letter B, or repeating. Tune them. Lemonade. Tea, 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 coffee, tea, coffee, tea, 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 coffee, lemonade. Letter D, or wherever you want to. Let's E. Let's F if you're moving on. A chords. G. A minor. F. G. A minor. G. F. G. A. G if you're doing it. Okay, some improvising, or go back on one you like. Signal bars, keep playing. Can you hear? A chords. F chords, G chords, A chords, F chords, G, A chords, H everyone. And now I, the raindrops, they can be soft. I hope you can hear me. I'm being very soft. F, G, A. And if you're doing the coda, you would do the little switchings. And around. There we are. Can you give yourselves a round of applause? Should we do us an unmuted one, in fact? Do you want to unmute so we can hear our round of applause? Bravo! 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 Beautiful.
Ish. I don't know what happened there.
I hope you enjoyed that, guys. So you can keep this, you can play this
Lovely, yeah.
you can put it into a loop, or you can do whatever you like. And yeah, that's that. Now we've finished tonight, and I didn't thank you all. So you know what we have to do. We have to go C, F, G, G, C major, C, then F, then G, G. We have to do it, because otherwise I have to thank you without music. And 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so. C. you Jill, thank you Alice, thank you Amber, thank you Angela, thank you Anne, thank you Beatrice, thank you Betsy, thank you Brenda, thank you Catherine, thank you Dennis, thank you Evelyn, thank you Ellie, thank you Francis, thank you Jill, thank you Hazel, thank you Heather, thank you Helen, thank you Piper, I think you might be Cameron, thank you Jane, thank you Jane, thank you Jane, thank you Jemima, thank you Jenny, thank you Jones, thank you Kate, thank you Kat, thank you Kimberly, thank you Laurie, thank you Laurie, thank you Lisa, thank you Lorraine, thank you Linda, thank you Margaret, thank you Marianne, thank you Mike, thank you Rosie, thank you Olivia, thank you Peggy, thank you Sharon, thank you Sue, thank you Susan, thank you Tammy. Okay, can you do like a fun ending? C, N, H, and Yay! Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you, everyone across the globe. And we will be back with the ensemble if you can, if you want to, if you can face another session in 1 month. We'll be back on Saturday night. I want to teach you Henrietta's Dream, which is a lullaby for a hedgehog, would you believe? But I hope you'll enjoy it anyway, even though it is a lullaby for a hedgehog. And please do check out the ensemble concert, which is some of you guys playing the collaboration videos at 8 o'clock on the same night as part of the Harp Weekend. And come and support, if you can, my 8 o'clock concert on the Sunday night. I'm really excited to share some of this stuff. Some of you have seen some of the videos because some of you are at Somerset. For those of you that haven't, there's some stuff in there that I've been wanting to record for so long. So yeah, do come along and hang out with me for that. That would be brilliant. Thank you as always. I shall press stop. Do you want to say goodbye to each other verbally? Bye! Out loud, I mean, sorry. Do you want to say goodbye to people watching the replay?
Bye.
Yeah, bye!
Bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.